Welcome to Strategic Darshan. Today we're going to talk about the ongoing Russia Ukraine crisis and trying to understand the ground situation. On this, we have with us strategic analyst and defense expert Major General K.K. Sinha.
There is a situation which is developing in the world, and actually everyone is talking about in the area of Ukraine-Russian conflict, which is now talked about, and the people are talking, that it may, turn out to be a scenario where the Third World War may be there, or it is just jostling. It is just a space which Russia and Americans are trying to get it in, especially in the Europe, or it is something else, how it's going to unfold, how the world is going to be changed after the incident if this crisis takes place or this crisis is averted, how the world is going to change after this incident. We are going to touch in various parts. To make it, holistically understand this, we will be first seeing, the ground reality. The ground reality is very important to understand the geo-strategic locations of Ukraine when we talked about in the Russian context and also in the European context, and how the Americans are getting into this area, why historical perspective of it, the geo-strategic understanding of this area, and how it is going to lead and change the world in days to come. We will going to see. In the first, part one of this conflict, let's understand the ground, the locations, and the forces which is over there. Let's understand. So let's go to the map quickly. To understand what is the conflict which is going on in Ukraine and between Ukraine and Russia, it is very important to understand the geostrategic location of this area and then stand on the map, because everything is happening on the ground and why it is important. Quickly we go through this from the world map. This is Russia. This is Ukraine, the Kiev, Belarus, because Belarus is now with Russia. The Minsk, the name is coming. The Baltic states of Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. Baltic Sea itself, the Russia. This is, again, it has shown Russia here. It is a part of Russia still holding in this area. Poland, very important. Slovak. Then Hungary, Romania, Moldova, this area. Then a very important area of Crimea, which has been annexed by Russia in 2014, the Black Sea, area of Odessa, Sea of Azov, Mediterranean, through, when you come through the opening through Black Sea, Istanbul, and when we come to, this is the area of Mediterranean. The other European countries which is now very important is Germany. Germany is coming because when we talk about Normandy format, Germany and France, which is coming, is very, very important, this side, and UK, and of course United States of America. Now the conflict which is taking place now, see slightly more in detail when we talk about the Ukraine. This is Kiev, the capital of where things are being talked about. This is Dnieper River, on which there are some bridges which has been made by the Russians. Temporary bridges have come up. When we go in this area, slightly, we'll go in detail. Basically, in the eastern side of, in this area of Donbass, this area which has been shaded, Donbass area, and two important area of Lunsak, this area, and Donetsk in this area, which is very important, and it is in the news. Sea of Azov. Sea of Azov, this is the Crimea, and this is the Black Sea. Of course, we have said through, when we say the Black Sea, through Black Sea, you can go to Mediterranean, this side. The important areas which is in the news, more on the news, is the Poland, Romania, Moldova. which is there of immediate concern. One thing which we also now things are coming in the news of Georgia, which was again the Russian intervention has taken place in 2008, is very important. Georgia, because more or less something parallel what happened in Georgia, it is now unfolding into the area of Ukraine. The Ukraine crisis, other than 2014, which will go in detail because it is it is snowballing now in 2022 again. Why this thing is taking place is we will go in detail, but very important to understand. There are certain markings has been shown of the deployment, but it is suffice to know that the Russians forces are in a great number in Belarus, and in this Belarus area it is approximately 50,000 forces, Russian forces. They have done the exercises with the Belarus, which is going to be concluded on 20th of February 2022. In this area, there is a huge concentrations if you see in the eastern side, especially in the area next to Donbas area of this Donbas area in this area, because in Donbas area the 30% are Russians origin, and about 18% of them they hold the both the passport of Russia. So this is a very important area, and this was also in the news in 2014, where there is a there is a fight between the Ukrainian forces and from Donbas, basically this they are calling them separatists. They have been fighting, and over the period of more than 6 years, 2014, when you say there are now more 8 years, 14,000 people have been killed from this area. So this becomes very important. This is also in news because of the Parliament of Russia. They have passed a proposal that they want to Luhansk and Donetsk, they want to make it a separate state. Now everything is boiling down to this area. What is happening? It is a proxy, whether it is a separatist movement which will take place, how whether the Russians are going to capture the complete Ukraine. Those things are there, and what are the concerns we'll touch upon in detail. One more thing which we must understand, and why it is very, very important in this conflict which is taking place, is basically the Norman stream 1 and 2. This is the Norman stream. You see this is a pipeline. It is going to Germany. This pipeline is going, and then it is going and extending this way. This pipeline is coming, the gas pipeline or oil pipeline, which is coming from Russia and Gulf of Finland. Through Gulf of Finland, it is going to Norman Stream. Very, very important. Actually, if you see, this is also the main region because of this conflict, which Americans want to block it. They do not want that that the complete dependency of Germany and thereafter the Europe takes place because of the supply of gas and oil pipeline. It is very important for Russia. It is at the same time very, very important for Germany and also for the Europe, and that will actually cut down the dependency of Americans gas and oil, which they are now trying to do it in a big way in this area. And that's why it is taking in the name of NATO. So we will now in the second video go in detail what is NATO, why North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and how it was coming to actually offset the Warsaw in the Second World War, and how this is now extending, why expansionism of the NATO, Americans want to do it, and the NATO countries, the NATO itself want to increase it in that area, why it is important, and then we will understand in detail the conflict, what is the conflict and what is the Russians security concern, what is the concern of Ukraine in this area, where the Ukraine is fitting, why they want to commit and extend and expand the NATO to Ukraine and also to Georgia. which we have been talking about, I will touch in my second video in detail.
Thank you, General Sinha, for your in-depth analysis. Viewers, if you've enjoyed this video and wish to see more such videos, click on the subscribe button given below.